And you are live.
Thank you, Mark. Today is Monday, December 11th, 2023. This is a meeting of the City of Annapolis Ethics Commission. I'm going to call the meeting to order and move into Jim. You reminded me about minutes, and I didn't realize until I read the procedures that the chairman is responsible for minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna be better this meeting, and I'll try to do something from the last meeting. No, sorry. Oh, Phil's here.
As it works out, I don't have very good notes from our last meeting. It was pretty short and concise.
Yes, it was short.
And if I recall, the appropriate rules for minutes, all the minutes need to include are just actions. They don't have to include anything about whatever the discussions were.
Thanks, Dave.
I learned that the hard way at Mako.
I got it. Phil, welcome.
Hello, how are you? How's everybody?
Hey, Phil.
Doing great. I'm so happy, so glad you could join us today.
Yeah, me too. It's been an adjustment, but I just have to deal with it one day at a time.
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry for your loss. But we do welcome you to the Ethics Commission and really glad you could join us today. So why don't we, all right, so the minutes we're going to have to approve next time from the last meeting because I got to recreate something. So dispense with that. Let's move into the commission's forms for the 2023 filing disclosures. Jim was awesome at updating what we have before us. So it's the annual financial disclosure for elected officials and candidates, financial disclosure, again, statement for elected officials, and the lobbying registration form. Jim, I went through and I think you caught every date we needed to update.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got all the dates. What caught me by surprise was that the State Ethics Commission approved our request for $45 max and a gift allowance. And in chasing that down, I verified that in fact was they did approve it, and I made those changes in the forms. We also made the request of them to increase the allowable gifts from $20 to $25, but they denied that request. Therefore, the $20 is the correct amount, and that is on the forms.
Great. Yep. So
in explanation, the reason they allowed the $45 is they don't have any limits on meals being provided to elected officials.
they do actually, but okay.
Well, that was the reason from
Okay.
the thinking. And they did not put that requirement on cities.
Okay.
That's probably the fine point.
Yes. Anybody have any questions of Jim? Do we have a motion to update the forms?
I will move to update the forms.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Do we have, oh, okay, the Ethics Commission. This is we're reviewing our procedures document to make sure it reflects the update that we had to make in the code. But Jim, I couldn't figure out the updates. Did you actually update this or?
The procedures have never been updated.
Okay,
They were drafted in May of 2016
yep,
by Jerry May. And he has procedures in here as far as how to handle meetings and pre-hearings and hearings and a lot of detail on that. I think it was in 2022 or maybe 21 that we incorporated how to handle hearings in the code, which is, I think, 2.08/100 or something like that. I'm going to bring up the code on my system.
I think it's 110, Jim. Complaint procedure,
Yes,
110.
so that got changed in the legislation, either 2021 or 22?
well, when we pull it up
Yeah, it looks like it was changed in January
of 22.
of 23, so about a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we proposed legislation to do
I
that.
think you did. I can't recall
Yeah.
what the case was, but I think it presented some opportunity to clarify who may file a complaint or who, or whether or not a complainant had a right to some sort of maybe a hearing before you all.
Do we need to update to reflect that change?
I think the change already was reflected.
In this
our
document?
procedures?
Oh, I'm not sure about the procedures. I just know that the city code had been.
Yes,
But if there's some sort of request to take a look at this, your guys' procedures to make sure that this update in 2.08/110, I can certainly do that. I just haven't done that quite yet.
That would be
Rick,
great.
you took the words out of my mouth. That would be very helpful. And bring it back to us, no great rush, but let's get it squared away.
Yep.
Okay. I'm writing my minutes, okay? And then is Trisha with us?
She is not.
Okay.
I got a call from Karen this afternoon asking if she was necessary for the meeting, and I told her no, and she let Trish know.
Okay. Because when I'm looking at the ethics guides for employees and officials, I read through this and there's some vagaries that I think could be better detailed and specified what is required. For example, in question 1, financial disclosure statements are required. If you are required to complete a financial disclosure form, you will be notified by the Office of Law. And I just thought maybe we should have a little bit more detail. Or Trip, I'll ask you, or is this working okay?
I can tell you, frankly, that would probably be a question for Karen Steele. I know that she's the one, distributing all these forms to the proper individuals. And, if they're not turned in time, she's the one calling them and making sure they do. If you don't mind me asking, what did you have a situation in mind that might not be contemplated by this one that you wish it was?
No, I'm thinking if I'm an employee of the city of Annapolis and I'm reading this document, do I have to do a financial disclosure or do I not? the criteria is not specified. It just says if you're contacted by the Office of Law, you got to do it.
Right.
And I don't mind that part, but maybe there's a few descriptives on what kind of employees and appointed officials are required to file. But hey, I don't want to rock the boat if this is not a problem.
No, I'd be more than happy to get Karen's thoughts and perhaps
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the best way of going about identifying parts of this guide that you guys might want to hone in on, if any at all. You know, it's not huge.
I mean, we
It's
could,
not.
if we chose to amend it, we could just put, if you are required to complete yada yada, you'll be notified to the Office of Law. If you fall into the following categories of positions, you should expect a reach out from the Office of Law. We could list those.
That's the kind of thing, Dave, that I was thinking about. Because we're trying to help employees understand what they have to do. And then there's like this thing, and if you don't comply, you're subject to $5,000 fines, and
Yes, yes.
always gets my
Actually,
attention.
The specific people are called out in 2.08051, which is financial disclosure for employees and appointed officials. And it's very specific as far as what positions, what pay grades, and so forth in that paragraph.
And they do cite the code. They, at the end of that sentence, they cite that exact citation. I'm just wondering if that's helpful to people who may not understand the code. Like, couldn't we drop it in?
Or could we attach to this document the actual code provision with the listing and say, see the attachment?
I like that. Trip, you have any thoughts on that?
It'd probably be just as efficient to just cite the code section rather than actually have an attachment directing them to the code. But if the point, Gene, if your point is that someone either might not be able to understand 2.8.51,
Or no, it's or even how to get there.
or even how to get there, right?
That's my bigger concern.
Well, I mean, I think the simplest way to do it would just be cite the code provision. See section 2.851. Because Jim's right. I mean, this section does detail who is required to actually fill these things out. But if someone is unfamiliar with the code or doesn't know how to access it, and they do have this guide, it might be as simple as just saying, hey, if you're unsure, see this code provision.
And maybe do a hyperlink.
That could be, yeah.
That they could just click on. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Why don't we explore the hyperlink with Tricia? Does that make sense?
Well, the idea of the guide was to answer in plain English questions that arise. And the key here is if a person's not sure or if they've been contacted by Karen to provide forms, that they should go to the law office, being Karen, and she can explain it.
That's another alternative.
Yep.
Jim, did the Ethics Commission put this guide together?
Yes, we did.
Got it.
At her request. And she refers to these as frequently asked questions.
Mm-hmm.
The commission decided that an ethics guide for employees and officials.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. There already is the citation to that code provision under this one.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying hyperlink it so that people that don't know how to navigate the code could get there easier.
Right.
does that make it simpler for the people or does it complicate it?
I think this could all be cleared up with, if all of these code provisions were hyperlinked, then if someone's accessing this document electronically, it's as simple as a little click.
Yep.
No additional words added. Won't be able to help them if they printed this out, though.
Well, okay, but
I'm just teasing.
stop. You stop. I think that would make this document a little more user-friendly.
Yeah, and perhaps less problems when we have to review these.
Okay. I will chat with Trisha. It's Trisha, right, Trip?
Yep, Trisha
Okay.
Hopkins.
Yep.
I can forward you her email if you don't already have it.
Please do. I have her phone number. I'm not sure I have her email.
Might have Karen do that.
Okay. And then we've had some issues with our website and the cookie cutter approach that people have taken to creating uniformity. I get the uniformity aspect of city websites being the same, except we're a little different. And I don't know what we think about that. And Trip, I keep picking on you because you.
That's all right. I actually have a small update on this item.
Oh,
I believe you guys had brought up website issues last time we met in September.
Mhm.
I spoke with Hillary today just to check in to see the status of any changes to the website. The first thing which dragged me up there was if one is to Google City of Annapolis or Ethics Commission Annapolis, the first Google result brings you to what is now former Ethics Commission website. It might have a former chairman's name still on the roster of members. It might show a vacancy that's not there. I brought this to Hillary's attention, asking if this can be changed or fixed. She told me this. It sounds as though the city is going and redoing all of the boards and commissions websites. In fact, they've already done it. They're still in the process of making sure it's a complete transition from the old pages to the new pages. And what she showed me was that if you were to access the Ethics Commission's new page, I'll just call it the new page, through the Annapolis website, the city's website, then you would find a new Ethics Commission page with all the same documents, slightly reorganized, as well as an up-to-date list of the commission's current members. I asked how come that old page is still accessible to folks in the public, and Hillary explained to me that they're still in the process of making sure the transition is complete, and once it is, that Google link will no longer be available. They're just not there yet. They're doing it with all the boards and commissions, and in short time, I imagine anyone who Googles, City of Annapolis Ethics Commission will wind up with only results relating to the new website. So that is my update.
Jack. And that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for checking that. And I think we give it a month or two and see how it all shakes out and how we like it at the end of the process.
I check it from time to time myself, just because I'm curious. I was waiting. I was hoping. Yeah, I'll always be monitoring on my end.
Excellent.
However, if there are any changes that you would like to see, even in the new website, please feel free to, let the city know.
I initially was displeased with the new site, but after I navigated it a bit, I was able to find all of our documents and all of our decisions on the new site, and that was what I thought was missing.
Yeah, it looks as though they took all the boards and commissions and they took the documents for every board and they placed them in like a documents and decisions tab. So you click the documents and decisions tab, and then you can, through in that page, you find all the boards and you basically select which board's documents you're trying to view. It's a little different from, as I understood it, the older pages where you would access the documents from the board's unique page. Now all the documents that belong to the city's boards and commissions are in a documents page that you organize. Once you understand it, it's not very complicated.
Yeah.
But they should all be there.
Okay.
They appear to be.
Yeah.
The difficulty with our list of decisions is most of them are listed by date,
Oh, is that so?
not by subject. And that's the way we've done it in the past, as far as we'd make an opinion and we put a date to it. And there's no way of knowing what it is unless you look at it.
Got it.
Mm. I don't know how to get around that problem, Jim. We don't have a category system, do we?
No, and
No,
and most of the opinions are either redacted or summarized to eliminate references to individuals.
Yeah.
If we categorize them by date, after the date, could we put a subject?
I think you could, so long as it doesn't violate any anything that's, what's the word? Redacted, you know?
Yeah.
I won't include any redacted term as
Yep.
the describing title, but I think it just so happens the opinions and orders that this specific commission churns out might be best organized by date, so long as the date, of course, is consistent, you know, the way it's identified.
I think so too. I don't know that we have a category system that would replace that. But I do like Dave adding at least a descriptor. Okay. I'm writing my minutes again. Is there anything else we need?
Where on the website,
Yeah, on the website or any other issues that we,
I think Trip was pretty clear as far as vacancies and so forth.
but that's the other thing. We do have a vacancy, Trip. Any insight on that?
You know what? I want to say I asked about that right after our September meeting, but I can't swear on it. I certainly wouldn't put anyone upstairs on the spot. So let me check on it again. I know I asked about a vacancy a couple weeks ago, but I can't promise that it was I can't promise it was for you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, you know what? You guys had a question. I remember now. You guys had a question as to whether or not it would be appropriate to offer recommendations, I believe, to the
Yeah.
administration in case you came across someone who might be interested. Let me make sure they're aware of your guys' offer, if you will, and I'll
Yeah.
shoot you an email sometime this week.
I
Okay.
have an interested candidate or a willing candidate. I spoke to PJ Hogan,
Oh, yes.
and he's interested, and he, as of the first of the year, he will no longer be a lobbyist. So
He would be an outstanding candidate for this.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I recognize him. He comes before the city council every once in a while.
yeah. He represents, I think, the military bowl.
Yep,
Military
yep.
bowl. Yep.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be doing that anymore.
He's retiring.
Any business before the city council would be in the past. So.
And he's a city resident and yeah. Dave, that would be awesome.
If Tripp could advise us how to proceed,
I certainly will, David.
and I
Yeah,
think we can work through Karen maybe she can probably work with PJ for whatever needs to be applied. But he's got a great CV, and I think he's very, very talented fellow.
Yeah.
and like me, I think he wants to get more engaged with the city of Annapolis.
Yeah. And having been a lobbyist, I think he felt somewhat reticent, but now that he isn't, I think that removes that potential cloud over his participation.
Yeah. I would guess the mayor knows him too.
Yeah, he's worked with the city, so I think
Yeah.
he knows him. And PJ lives in the neighborhood, so he runs into the mayor periodically.
Yep. Okay, I think we've cleared the books.
All right.
Bill, anything from your corner that you wanted to add or?
No,
Okay,
I just want to observe getting back into the
Yeah.
swing of things.
yep, we appreciate it.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I was wondering how much I had missed with you guys, and but I didn't think you want me around anyway, because I don't know. It's a real adjustment after 57 years.
Jeez.
Hmm.
Yeah, we met when we were 15.
Oh, that's such a good.
In high
You were
school.
lucky. You were a lucky man.
Yeah. But she had cancer once, and this was the second time around. It was after 32 years it came back. So I look at it as he gave me 32 years of her, and it is. It's just that it's just I was getting to say half my life, but all my life, just not being a man. Because we even made a mistake, and well, we didn't make a mistake. We tried to go to different colleges, and we didn't tell each other. We ended up at the same college too. So
What
anyway,
college?
Bowie. Yeah. That's enough of me. How are you guys doing?
Fine. You're gonna have a tough year ahead.
Yeah, usually I help. It's a funny thing because I usually help. I talk to a lot of people and talk to them, help them through this, and I've changed my way. I've changed my thoughts on how to talk to some people because it's not as simple as I was talking to them about it. I would easily say that it's never going to be all right again, but it'll be okay. But that's a little bit too simple, or a little bit too, I don't know, rushed about it. So it was a tough lesson to learn. I learned it. And, it is
You're
what it
okay to have sads, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
But it is what it is. That's one of the things I learned. You can't stop it, so there's nothing you can do about it. So you just deal.
So happy to have you back. And
Thank you.
if there's anything we can do, let us know. But maybe we, give you a little diversion for a short amount of time.
Yeah. That's good.
At the very least, hopefully we'll provide you some entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take that too. I'll take anything right now.
Well, everyone have a happy holiday, and we'll have to get together in February, I think, to review the financial disclosure documents. And maybe we'll try to do that in person. I think it usually works better that way.
Yes.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. So I think that's unless something comes up, I think that's our next thing to do.
I am looking forward to it.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn.
I will so move, and Peggy, good luck with session.
Shoot me. Okay.
Yes, congratulations on working.
All right, guys, thanks so much.